at heart. And out there, like, you get kicked out of school and you have to do push-ups outside. It was like a boot camp school. Like, the lieutenant walk in, they'll be like, what would they say? Like, or I know for sure, like, when you go to the restroom, it'd be like, Trainee Martinez, requesting permission to speak. They'd be like, speak. And I'll be like, may I use the latrine? If you was in that hole, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And we was just in that bitch thugging. We was bad in a hole. Like, if you get locked up, we just going right next door and we finna be out for school the next day or a couple days. It's whatever. And then I got out of that hole. And then what else? I got by this time I was on probation for burglary, so I got smacked for the dope case. So my probation for like 3 years now. And what else? 3 years down the line, I was probably 12 to 15. I wasn't even 15 yet. This is when I was 13. This is 7th and 8th grade year. I got out of JJ. What else? So let me think about this. This shit feels like so a while ago, but I remember it every day, you know. I was at JJ for the whole 6 months of a year. When I woke up, they said your sentence is over, like during Christmas break. And I was like, bet. So I'm gonna go to regular school. This is 7th going on the 8th grade year. I was there for 1 month or 2 months, kicked out, back to alternative school. I was messing up, catching little cases in the streets, like getting arrested for like, one time we were walking around barred out in the streets and we was at the park like after hours. And back then, curfew was a thing. I used to always get curfew tickets because I would always be thugging after hours. And shit, I was barred out and then the cops came at the park and I'm fucked up. I was already like bucking the laws, of course. So when they came, I was like, hell no, like you ain't taking us nowhere. The girls were sitting there crying at the bench and shit. They were tripping. They were like telling me to chill. Well, my pants were wet from the slide. And they're like, oh, you pissed your pants? Because I'm assuming they thought I was drunk. And I was like, nah. Shit. And he's like, oh, you pissed your pants? And I was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like on their ass, like they were trying to make fun of me and shit. And I wasn't on that type of time. And I was on that demon time then. Like, by the time over there, people wasn't smoking weed in 6th grade. So I kind of brought like a different culture out there, sadly, you know. But by this time, this was 8th grade. J-Dog was popping. Boosie was definitely out there going crazy. And we were smoking water sticks, all that shit. It was real fucked up time then, especially in 8th grade. The bars were real, 3 for $10 all day. School buses, regulars. Dro was a different price, of course. It was I think 20 a G. Like, as crazy as that sounds, but it was always some gas pack. It was never no fucking mid like now. And not saying I smoke mid or I got mid, but like you see a lot more mid nowadays. Cause back then if you had exclusive, it was some good. But 8th grade came around, I got kicked out of school again. I was at alternative school already. Boom, somehow. Oh no, I was at school on probation and I was trying to fight this kid. My Garza was there at the same time. He from Galveston, but I met him back at that alternative school over there in Webster. He somehow ended up over there at that whole, well, I was trying to fight this one kid in the morning and the teacher got in the way and I was like, get the fuck out of my face or I'll slap your ass. Slap your ass too, you know, like, what? Like, that teacher was always a bitch to me too. Like, that was always on some weak shit. But really it's because I wasn't listening, if you really think about it. And they kicked me out. I go to the principal's office, blah, 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 in alternative school. And I'm sitting there, the cop talking to me about this and that. And I get up out the chair like, I'm tired of listening to what you got to say. And I step out and he grabs me and slams me. I'm like, by this time I got slammed a lot of times. So I'm going to wrestle that hoe and do some little bit of scrapping and shit. And next thing you know, I look up, he gave me for evading arrest and terroristic threat when I was 15 in 8th grade. They gave me terroristic threat because I threatened the teacher. I mean, it was whatever at the time. I'm sitting in that bitch with a headache because I'm pissed. They sent me to juvenile. Next thing you know, I hear in the cafeteria, you know, it's like a domino effect with one of y'all thug. You know how it be. My homie started getting at people in the cafeteria. Mike Garza, he always been a fighter. He started knocking people. And then I was like, damn, it's lit. Next thing you know, I'm back in juvenile. When I go to juvenile, that time I was in 8th grade. I don't know if y'all know Pressure Reyes. That's when a Peso homeboy, he was there at the time, that time I was there. And my homeboy, Maldonado, he was in that bitch. They were both in A-dorm with us. When I pulled up in that bitch, There was a lot of motherfuckers there. I want to say Pops is there. He did a murder in Texas City. He got 25 now. Shit. I don't remember who else was there, but by this time, they kicked me out of school. Then JJ, I got kicked out of AEP for that shit, so now I'm at JJ again. And when I was at JJ, that's where I kind of met like Julo, that's Peso's brother. And then if I didn't meet him already, I definitely met Peso there in 8th grade that year. And he looked young as hell. Like, I was already there. This is my second time there, so they was looking at me like, damn, this boy back already. But there was a lot of 2-timers, 3-timers at JJ already. Motherfuckers was already going to TYC at the time, or they already in TYC. And there was also some shit called level 5 placement. It was a boot camp just in the back for like 9 months. And there was level 4 with a boot camp where you had to like walk around and do the marching and shit. We'll see them, there's only like 10 to 15 people in that class. Well, when I was at JJ, I did a little stint right there for 3 months. And did that shit. And let me think about what happened. Because I ended up at level 4 and I met a lot of other people there that I fuck with from like Texas City, Galveston, you know, all the Galveston County area. Well, we used to be bad as hell in that hole. They used to, when I got sent to that level 4, we was, they used to take us off campus. And by that time, motherfuckers was smoking like that fake weed at the time because we were all on probation and shit like that. And my boy Rodney was in that whole thugging. He was smoking weed. We'd go to the restroom. Motherfuckers was pissing for him and shit. Like, we ain't give a fuck about none of that shit. So they'll take us to do community service. And we would have weed in our pocket because we go through the metal detectors of the juvenile. And let me drink some. We just sneak that hole in. And we leave the, like, smoking shit. We was really on some fiend shit if you think about it. But we just didn't give a fuck. So when they would take us off campus, the motherfucker, the motherfucker who used to watch us, it was Mr. Pope. He made it to the NFL. He was from Galveston. If anybody know him, he from Ball High. Shout out that motherfucker. He real as hell. He used to let us box in the back, and he'll slap the shit out of you. I'm sure he would. He ain't did it to me, but he ain't play. He had money, so he'll check you for shit. So one time over there at that school, if you didn't have like a doctor shit, then they will come get you. The laws will come get you from school if you didn't come. That's just what it is. It was Austin Martinez, this fat ass boy, stayed dusting his ass. And Mr. Pope, like, he looked at me and said, "Where's your doctorship like for I was about to say report, your doctor shit?" And I said, "Not everybody got money to go to the hospital shit. I just had to thug that shit." He said, "Hold on, first of all, watch how you fucking talk to me." I said, "Shit, chill. I want no hoe." But he played in the NFL. I'm finna wrestle his ass, but he with that shit.